We're made to believe that we're invincible, but it's not until you're faced with really difficult times and you realise that life is precious.
Adult male trauma.
He's got a partial degloving of both hands.
St George's, ETA 10 minutes.
He's got head on into a bus.
Almost totally amputated.
I'm not joking.
You're always so busy.
Well, they're open 24 hours, 7 days a week.
St George's, London.
Welcome to the madhouse.
One of Britain's busiest A&E departments.
Right, CT are ready.
We need 2 units of O&A now.
OK, this is really time critical. It's our job to look after you and worry about you.
That we're going to find out what's going on with you, OK?
Thank you.
A place where life...
Success.
Love...
She's all right. She's all right.
And loss... unfold every single day.
Love you.
Filmed across one 24-hour period, these are the stories of a nation and its health service.
Brave little man.
I'll never fully understand how people manage to get through one of the worst things they've ever had to deal with in their life.
God, I can't believe this has happened. So brave, isn't it?
You see people from every single walk of life, and it makes you realise the common threads of humanity far outweigh any differences.
Independence is such a fundamental need. No one likes to be reliant on other people. No one likes to feel a burden. It's so important to forge your own path, push past those barriers, beat down those expectations, be able to live the life that you want to lead. I think it's fantastic when people are able to do that.
St George's, how can I help? Sorry, so this is medical, okay? Fine, so his status epileptic, is it? Okay, he's got a head injury. Is his GCS 12 at the moment? 14, so 4, 4, and 6. Thank you very much, bye-bye. Apparently he's well known to us here.
Fine, how many minutes?
8 minutes.
A 32-year-old man is being rushed to St George's after collapsing at home with an epileptic seizure and injuring his head.
In training, you always worry about someone coming in having a seizure. They can bite their tongue, bite the inside of their mouth, have difficulties breathing because they're swallowing their tongue. Our biggest concern is not the seizure, but the risk of falling and hitting something hard. A head injury can be very serious for a patient who has a seizure.
The patient suffers from a rare genetic condition and is travelling to A&E with his support worker. His parents are making their way to the hospital from their home in Kent.
You're always worried that the level of severity of mild seizures is getting worse. The one thing you don't like to see is someone who's very close to you out of control. Mark lives quite independently, but he has support. The place that he lives in called us and said that Mark had had a seizure.
We got straight in the car and went to St George's. Anxiety, stress, everything, all your feelings that you've bottled up, they all explode in one hit.
This is Mark. He is non-epileptic, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, has pleural infusions and Noonan syndrome. Today we were called because he had a seizure lasting about 4 minutes. He also has hit his head and has a right-sided haematuoma, which has sort of come up en route. On our arrival, we had reduced SATs of 84. Heart rate was up at about 120. We've had a listen to his chest. He's got right-sided basal crackles and that sort of pleural rub as well.
Did you see the seizure?
No, he was already just coming out of the seizure when I got to work.
Quite a big bump, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which floor did he fall on?
It was in our communal area. It's a hard floor.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, my name's Alex. I'm one of the doctors. Hello.
Hello.
I just wanted to have a look at this bump. A head injury is a serious complication of seizures because they can both fracture the skull or cause a bleed in the brain. If it's not picked up quick enough, the biggest risk is of death, but also of damage to the brain and therefore to the patient's function. So because of this bump on the head, we're going to get a scan of it just to make sure there's no problems, OK?
Worrying the seizure had been so severe that he wouldn't be there when we got there.
Like any parent, your worst fault is losing a child. We just couldn't bring ourselves to even think about that.
My name is Ian. I'm going to take you through now, OK?
Mark is being taken for an urgent CT scan after falling and hitting his head during an epileptic seizure.
OK, slowly lie down.
His parents, Ian and Leslie, are still travelling to St George's.
Breathe in and hold your breath.
We were always going to have 2 children. I'm an only child, so I really wanted another sibling for my eldest son.
When Leslie was expecting with Matthew, our eldest son, I was 30 and Leslie, I think, was 26. Mark came along a few years later. You look at your parents and you look at your wife's parents, and we had a very happy family and very nurturing environment. We just knew that that's what we wanted to do as well. And nothing was very different about Leslie's pregnancy with Mark at all, other than he was premature. He was about 5 weeks early.
Had him early morning. I didn't get to hold him till late that afternoon.
Ah, look at that, nice and quick.
When he arrived, it was very clear, just looking at the reactions of the team, that something wasn't quite perhaps as it should be. You kind of pick these things up, looking at the way people were reacting.
8.
We knew there was a problem, but nobody explained to us anything at all. We could keep seeing people coming to look through the door. They'd come in and just make sure the baby was okay. We'd ask them, is there a problem? What's happening? And then, no, he's fine. They just check him and then go out again. It was awful, absolutely awful.
All right, Mark. I come bearing gifts, sir. Okay? Got some paracetamol here for you as well, okay? I'm just gonna take this off, okay? Okay?
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, there you go, mate.
One day, a very bright paediatrician at the hospital managed to actually work out in her mind what it might be, which was this very rare genetic condition called Noonan syndrome.
She diagnosed it just through looking at him and observing and looking in textbooks.
You want a bit more, or you good? Go on.
So Ian and I started to read this book. It was awful. There was no life expectancy. We were told he would never talk, he would never walk, he would never feed himself. That really hit Ian and I hard. He was taken to a special care baby unit. While we were in there, we were told twice that he probably wouldn't make the nights. Also, we were told if we wanted him christened, that we'd have to have him christened quickly. Just a really, really awful time for Ian and I. But Mark always had this inner strength. And he always had these piercing blue eyes.
When I had hold of Mark, his grip was fantastic. He could really get hold of your finger and really give it a good squeeze. And I think he always wanted to be here and he was never going to go anywhere else.
You look sleepy. You're tired. A little bit. At least that bump on your head's not getting any bigger. Okay.
What about 4 Dutch freezers, please?
Hey, Chris, you right? Can you help me take this young man to CT for me, please?
I'm Chris, one of the porters. I'm going to take you for your scan, OK?
Luckily for you, Chris is a very good driver, so we're good.
Porter Chris has worked at St George's for the past 25 years.
I think that's one of the things that really keeps me there for so long, is that human side of it.
All right, so you don't need to do anything. You just stay nice and still for us, and we do everything for you. Off we go.
You have to keep the patient calm. I think I'm pretty good at that. There you go. OK? A lot of patients love to tell the story. You get some older guys who've got their old service tattoos from where they're in some port or another. And, you know, it's old and crusty, it's all faded. And I say, oh, so, the old tattoos, what's it all about? Straight away, they're transported back. They're in Hong Kong or wherever, and they'll give you the whole story. It makes them forget where they are and what's happening around them. And it just makes that experience a little bit more manageable, I suppose. I'm going to see one of my tattoos, maybe Friday. See about getting all that infill like that into the spiders and other random places. I was born in the east end of Sunderland, right on the docks, so it's almost on the coast. Coming where I come from, I thought, you know, maybe I would have ended up being either a miner or a shipbuilder, the two main industries. But in the 1980s, decisions were made from the government that shipbuilding in England was becoming too expensive. My dad, who's a shipbuilder, he took his redundancy back in '82, and he never worked after. That was it. Then the miners' strike came, and everything changed. There was just a huge, huge vacuum of people being put out of work. I remember at school, basically we were told by the careers officer that there's no future. There's no work in the area, there's no future. Don't know what you're going to do. Oh, are you all right? I'm Chris, one of the porters. Want to take the full scan of your head? I knew a few people who was already working in London, and one of them was a foreman. I went labouring for a little while, then I started doing bits of carpentry work. But it was hard to find somewhere to stay because I didn't have any money. Out of necessity, we lived in this car. It was an old Corolla, Toyota Corolla. It was a wreck. And having to go to work, perform physically, and then come back to the car almost every night, it was quite difficult. Nice and easy. Then, I don't know, I think crashes seemed to follow me around. Everything seemed to go downhill in London back in about 92, 93. I just found it quite difficult. I had to make a decision, you know, come out the building again and try and get another job.
Look at me. It's not as bad as I thought it was. Yeah, no. When I touched it this morning, it was really hard.
It's just like the pressure.
Don't, because you'll squeeze it on me.
Oh, that's not very nice.
So he's a gentleman with a background of Noonan's syndrome. He's come in today because of seizures secondary to a likely pneumonia.
Mark has come to A&E after hitting his head while suffering a seizure. Doctors are currently awaiting the results of his CT scan.
Is the breathing difficult?
Huh?
Is the breathing difficult?
Yeah. Seems like he's got an infection now. So the right side.
Doctors are concerned that his seizure may have been triggered by a chest infection.
Patients with Noonan syndrome often have problems with their heart, problems with their lungs.
We'll just check his oxygen. So it's dropped. Let's see.
They are at risk of developing severe infection of the lungs.
Yeah, he would need some oxygen. Let's put a Venturi of 28%.
We'll get a chest X-ray done and get those bloods sent and have a look, okay?
Mark spent the whole of his first year in hospital. He started off in special care baby unit and then was transferred up onto a ward.
The doctor just wants an X-ray of your chest, okay?
As that year progressed, that first year, to start to think, well, how can we get him home and get some normality into his life? That's what happened. We got him home here.
That's flashing it, Mark.
It wasn't easy because in those early years, his reaction to feeding was very, very negative. He was being sick a lot of the time. It was obvious that he just wasn't progressing. But we had fantastic support from Leslie's parents, who cooked lots of food, liquidised it all, so it was much more acceptable to Mark. He would push the spoon away, he would not want to take the food. But it gradually, and it took a long time, started, to work.
Okay, it is going to be cold actually because you're quite warm, okay? Right, lean back for me. Ooh. I know, sorry. Try and lean right.
We've wanted him to be as independent as possible. He went to special units, but we were quite keen that they were attached to normal schools so that he was always mixing.
He never walked until he was 4.5. So he was a little bit behind to start with, but being with other children, it just brings them forward.
X-ray, Benny. Relax.
And we realised that we didn't have to worry as much.
There you go.
There we go, young man. Is that all right?
I will just wait. There's Mum and Dad now.
How are you doing?
Yeah, great.
When me and Natalie got there, you'd come out of the seizure, didn't you? Yeah. You were going a bit blue. I must admit, I did think I was going to have to do CPR at one point. And he's had a CAT scan for his bump.
You look a little bit washed out, I have to say now.
Yeah,
You feel tired.
His heart rate keeps sort of...
He's needed quite a lot of support and quite a lot of help. But he has this fantastic independent spirit which we've encouraged. When he was 19, Mark went to a college in Coventry, which was his choice, something he really wanted to do.
It's the first time he'd actually really lived away from home. I really didn't want him to go because it was so far away. The pupils were expected to sort of get themselves to classes, prepare his own meals with people. They would go off down the pub, they would go shopping, and for the first time ever he was doing all this with other people. You know, he'd never really done it for himself before. And it got to the stage where he said, you actually don't need to come up to Coventry. If somebody puts me on the train, I can make my own way to Euston. You can meet me at Euston. So we gave it a go. He phoned me as he was on the train saying, I'm sitting in first class and the man's just bought me a biscuit and a cup of tea. He thrived on this independence.
That was probably one of the most emotional moments in our lives, watching him walk by the train, get off the train at Euston and walk up the platform with his suitcase, same as any other student would do. I felt incredibly proud of him. I can't tell you how proud of him. That period was a good period for health. And it was only when he came back from college and we started to get new problems.
Hi, Alyssa. Grab a seat there. Have you tried squeezing it?
No, I'm too scared.
You right if I squeeze it?
Are you right? Do you want to wear, like, headgear or something? I just can imagine it just, like, going all over you.
I'll go slowly.
Oh, God, OK.
Let's pop you up here, actually. It's probably easier to do it up here.
Are you so excited?
A little bit, yeah. Sadly, a little bit excited. As long as it doesn't go in my face. I'm just going to stand back a little bit. Anastasia?
Mom, this way. Mom, this side here.
This way? Which side?
This side here. Inside back for you. Inside back for you.
God bless her.
Yeah, I know.
You're struggling, darling. Yes, I am. He's not even giving you his arm either. I'll give you my arm.
She
Come
refused.
yeah, I like this story.
80-year-old Anastasia has been brought to St George's by her son Patrick with pain in her knee.
Sorry. Just to that open door there, darling. All right.
My mum is a matriarch of the family. You know, we all look up to her as the person that we go to in times of need.
Glad to see you dressed up.
I'm the eldest son. Our family's quite big. I have 5 sisters and 1 brother, so got quite a large household, obviously.
Right, grab a seat there, my darling.
OK, which one's this one?
Yeah.
She's been through very difficult times, but she'll never, ever give herself the praise that she deserves.
Right, my name's Alison. I'm one of the nurse practitioners. Nice to meet you. Any past medical problems?
Not ongoing. I had knee replacement.
Yeah. High blood pressure, anything like
yes.
that?
Yes, I have high blood pressure.
You're not doing badly. You're not on many medications, are you?
Not on many, about 3.
Yeah, it's pretty good at 80. So tell me what's brought you here today.
I had a very painful knees. And then it got worse on Friday and has continued to get worse. So the shin?
Calf.
Calf.
Yes.
So the calf is very, very painful.
OK.
I find it difficult to walk.
And any pain up in your groin at all?
Yes, I do.
You have. OK. Right, I'm just going to have a look at your legs. OK, let's have a look. OK, yeah, this does feel hot, doesn't it, and swollen.
I was born in Nigeria in 1938. I met my husband, Lawrence, when I was 15. He was one of the young men who had a prospect for the future. He was working in the bank, Barclays Bank.
All right.
Do you want your cane? I'm fine for now. He proposed 2 years after we first met.
What had you been doing Thursday? Dancing?
No, nothing much, just walking.
No
Just
dancing?
walked. No, just walked.
She loves dancing.
Yeah, I can tell. I can tell by the way someone moves.
I just walked. My husband always wanted to come abroad to do his course in accountancy, doing something which will be for the future benefit of the family. He came over for a 4-year course. I had a place at college, so I came over to study. Unfortunately, leaving the children behind because we couldn't afford to have them with us abroad. So I left them behind with my auntie. 2 years, I know it's a long time, but it was temporary, so, and many other families did that, so we accepted it.
All right, so what we'll do a blood test. I think it's probably less likely to be a blood clot. It looks more like it's associated with your joint in your knee. OK. But the blood test will just rule out the possibility of it being a blood clot.
We're saddened that we left the children behind. They were very young. Patrick was just 18 months old, which was extremely hard. We didn't know that the civil war was coming in Nigeria.
You're not afraid of needles, are you, Mom? You're not, are you?
I have to look away.
I keep you distracted. Look at us, look at us.
Nah, I've busted my toes a few times. I've done it recently. I was getting out of the bath and I've got that, so I've got one of those stepper things to get in and out of the bath. And I come out and I'll smack my toes off the handle of it. It was like, oh, mummy.
Can I refer to Teresa's, please?
We're going to send you around for an X-ray. OK.
I came to London in 1990, just over 23 years old. And not lie, I did think about, is this going to work out?
Oh, just going to get you around for those X-rays.
I needed work, obviously, and a relative was the head of A&E at the time. Getting there. Getting there.
Getting there.
I had to go in for an interview. The most difficult question, how would you handle a dead body? And the only thing I could come up with was respectfully. There you go, shouldn't be long. Yeah, I got the job. Walk like an Egyptian. All this madness that happens every day, it's good to leave it behind. A friend of mine who was into raving, so I started going out partying with him. I was going out most weekends. Sometimes I'd wake up on a Friday morning, go to work, go out Friday, party Saturday, go to Saturday, party most of the way through Sunday, crash out Sunday night, early Monday morning, go to work, come home and then just collapse. And I'd done that on a regular basis for quite a long time, rightly or wrongly. Quite a few times, you know, you've been out partying and stuff like that, you know, there's loads of girls, you have a bit of a dance with them. It's quite superficial, you know, you do certain things, you chat rubbish to people, but those people are not really your friends. You know, they're just party buddies. Oh, see you later. That's all right. It filled a big hole in terms of entertainment, but I wanted more than that.
Big bump there.
Yeah.
Doctors now have the results of Mark's CT scan and X-ray.
It looks good.
Just to let you know, the CT head scan has come back. No concerns of any bleeding inside. So it's just the swelling, which will go down. It will be reabsorbed. How's the breathing now?
Better now.
Okay. He has seizures. When he has seizures, often there's a cause of infection. That's been evident on his chest X-ray. Looks like there might be a bit of a chest infection, pneumonia there as well.
Okay.
So we're treating him for that, and I've spoken to the medical team. Obviously, since he's requiring oxygen, he needs to come in, and I know that normally he goes to Caroline Ward.
Yes.
When he came away from college, he got his own flat. Mark has done a few voluntary jobs. He's worked helping in museums, straightforward tasks, but things where he can bring his skills. They really loved having him around because there's not many people that go to work singing, and Mark does.
Oh dear. Well, hopefully if we just get you in for 6 days, till they finish giving you the antibiotics. He was enjoying life. He was really, really enjoying his job. He was lovely and healthy then, and with not a lot of problems going on. So he was, yeah, great. It was a good time, good time.
He's about to be going away.
Yeah. We booked it quite a while ago with the idea that hopefully he would be able to come, but really as it's got nearer and nearer, and we can't have Mark being ill, you know, it's just... But Mark's health was always going to deteriorate at some stage because of the nature of Noonan syndrome. Unfortunately, fluid has moved up through his body, and it actually went into the lower part of his lungs, which caused his breathing to suffer. Last year he was in hospital for a full 11 months.
Oh gosh, you've had quite a few surgeries, haven't you? Poor thing.
He had 5 operations on his lungs. We were actually told we possibly might lose him.
Yeah, well.
Oh, well.
Keep us on our toes, don't you? Hey? You all right? Yeah?
You never let life be easy, do you? We've given 32 years of care to Mark. For us, Mark is still a little boy. I don't know how long, you know, he'll survive for. But I know I'm going to lose him, aren't I? I'm going to lose him at some stage, and I just can't look to that at the moment. I just can't go there.
He has brought so much to people that whenever it happens, it will be a life well lived, and probably lived a lot more than most people live their lives. So, you know, you can't get better than that, can you?
Are you ready to go, lovely?
Oh.
Mark will be taken to a ward where doctors will continue to monitor his lung infection.
Off skids.
Going to get the GP to see you.
Okay, okay.
Waiting to be seen in reception is Chris's wife, Paula.
Oh, is this Mrs. Chris?
It is Mrs. Chris.
We've heard so much about you.
Okay. I had an altercation with an earring, so I'm a patient today.
Oh, what did you do?
Hence,
You like your piercings, don't you?
Yeah, I do. That little bulge there is one of those bits there, basically.
No.
You tried to do it, but it just wasn't working.
Oh, no.
Just fumbling around in the kitchen, so now I'm in a professional place.
Oh, well, I hope you get it sorted.
Okay,
See you later.
See you in a bit. We met before Tinder and all that type of stuff. Online. Dating site.
That's not too bad.
A friend of mine took a photo of me. I was used to wear a scrub top, and that picture of me was put up there. Paula saw it, thought I was some sort of doctor. Little did she know.
It's probably got caught like that.
and just gone dunk. Maybe it's just saying, look, woman, know your age, get something else pierced instead.
Probably. I gave him a phone number, so she rang me, and that was it. Chat.
Paula.
Oh.
There we go.
Hello.
We agreed to meet at Waterloo Station. We literally bumped into each other because I didn't know what she looked like. I ring her and the phone went and she was standing behind me. I turned around and went, oh, you all right?
You brought a porter with you?
Yeah, it's my own personal porter.
Just one of those relationships where it's like that, it just clicks. But yet, as people, we are totally different.
Right. Sure. So, earrings?
So that's what the back was. And so the brace, I think, got caught around that. And so my stupid instinct was pull it out that way. And I didn't think about the fact that obviously the front bit must have still been in there.
Right. Can I just pick this scab off on here?
Yeah,
just
do whatever you need to do.
I was chatting to one of the radiographers at work. She said, oh, do you know it's a leap year? No, leap year, a woman can ask a man to marry them. I said, yeah, I'm very aware of that. I said, I've got a feeling that Paula might ask me today. Went home. Paula was very, very nervous. And she said, do you want to marry me? I said, yeah, of course I do. That was that.
Just like squeeze and...
Yeah, come here.
Right, we're gonna X-ray it, okay? And then
Yeah,
you can
I'll
come
take
back
it
in
down
here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you work here.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's fine.
All those 15 years together, we've never argued once.
I've met your hubby before, so...
Oh, never mind.
I like that. Oh, never mind. What you?
I feel exactly the same way now as I did when I first met her. It hasn't waned any. Yeah, she's a good person. I think we go well together.
Go on off and do your whatever it is you do thing. Save the world, my love.
All right, I'll catch up with you later.
Okay, then.
Good luck.
Ciao, ciao.
OK, darling, I've got you a little bit of morphine here. OK.
That's what you got, Mum. Big old kick.
It's only a little tiny bit. OK. Here you go, sweetheart.
The medical team are concerned that Anastasia may have a clot in her leg and are awaiting the results of a blood test.
I finish at 8 o'clock, so I'll hand you over to one of my colleagues.
All right.
Who's also called Alison. Keep things nice and simple and easy. All right? OK.
I left Nigeria and I came over here to study a course in teaching. We had young children. We didn't have the finances to bring them over here. In the early 60s, we had the Nigerian independence situation. Didn't know that the war was going to escalate and it was going to engulf the whole of Nigeria. Well, we were worried for our families, worried for the children. The civil war in Nigeria intensified, and the children were all in refugee camps, being shunted from one refugee camp to the other, so which saddened us. My auntie will carry Patrick on the back, and they were all running, hiding from one refugee camp to the other. And sometimes they stay in the bush for 2 days while dodging the Nigerian soldiers. So I suspended my education and took up employment to see if we could raise enough funds to get traveling documents to get the children over from Nigeria.
What's happened now about mobility then regarding your movement in the house then? Where is it best for you to be located when you go back home?
It will be downstairs because everything is there.
Mm-hmm.
There were a few other parents in the same situation, so we all worked hard and contributed money to secure the release of these children. One of our members traveled to Nigeria, went to the refugee camp where my children were, directed by my uncle, who managed to get traveling documents. in 1969, November. They arrived in London, looking dreadful. Thin head, big heads, protruding stomachs, very thin legs which couldn't support their weight. So that's why we all cried at the airport, but then relieved that they were alive, but then saddened to see their condition.
The medical team have received the results of Anastasia's blood test.
Now then, Anastasia, unfortunately, it looks like you've got a clot. In your calf, yes.
That's
and
why.
it would be causing you all this discomfort in your groin. So the plan will be to give you a clot-busting drug tonight to take, and we will do a scan of your leg tomorrow morning. Okay. What I don't want you to do is worry.
Which I've started doing already.
Yes,
I know,
absolutely.
she has, I know.
Absolutely.
I know.
A lot of the time, our effort was centered around getting them to fit into the British way of life, particularly education.
Every day after school, weekends, my mum's sitting down, she prepared these amazing flashcards with sentences, with gaps in the middle, spelling, grammar, and we'll sit down and she'd make sure that we knew everything. So it was like a little mini school.
Look at the size of that little thing.
Yeah, I totally admired her. She was able to juggle so many different roles. You know, she was studying and, you know, working, raising kids at the same time, and still being a mother. I don't know how she does it, honestly.
So please don't worry tonight.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
That little tablet will sort you out.
Okay, thanks very much.
Raising 7 children and achieving, you know, masters at the LSE, that's a great accomplishment. So it just shows how amazing she is.
And you take care.
Okay.
Being a doctor, we are privileged to be able to understand certain aspects of life's difficulties. Thank you. Growing up gay and Asian had a massive impact on how I am as a doctor. It's given me stronger resilience. It's provided me with an empathy that allows me to connect with patients when they're at their most vulnerable.
See how warm it is outside? It's warm, I know it's warm.
In life, circumstances change, things happen to you, and that's what resilience is, how you cope with changes. As long as you're always willing to keep going, then you will always be growing as a person.
My philosophy in life is just to accept things that are beyond my control. Anything that I can't control, I accept.
And we do lots of activities like bowling, going out to the cinema, yeah, and going down to Costa Coffee. We chat a lot and have lots of fun and laughter.
They make you feel happy.
Yeah, they make me feel very happy.